What's up, guys? Back with another video. This is going to be my top 25 albums, or releases I should say, because there's EPs on this list as well. My releases of 2013. They're all hip-hop, so let's just get into it, I guess. I know I told a few guys I was going to upload this yesterday, but batteries died on my camera, so I had to recharge them overnight. But here we go, let's get into it. This isn't in no order, by the way. I kind of have a problem with putting things in order just because, I don't know, I can't really pick like my favorite album of the year. I just like all of them the same. I don't really, like, there's some I like more than others, obviously, but I don't know, everyone puts them in order. I figure I'd do something a little bit different, you know. So check these out if you haven't heard any of them. They do all have physical releases now, as far as I know. So here we go. The first one up is Dr. Beckett, the Zurich EP. I wasn't too familiar with Dr. Beckett up until recently, and I'm not sure when I first heard of him, maybe a few years ago, I want to say. Yeah, really dope EP. Came out, I'm not sure when it came out this year, but it came out at some point this year. I showed it in one of my recent updates. Did I? Maybe I didn't show it in my recent updates. I do have a physical copy. Nope, I didn't show it yet. It's going to be coming up on one of my next update. So, really nice EP. Definitely check it out if you can find it. I know it's out there and it's not expensive. Get it for a decent price. It's got a really nice flow. He makes his own beats, as well as he doesn't always make his own beats, but he does produce as well, I believe, as well as rap. So, and I don't think he produced this EP. I think this was produced by somebody else. Next up, we got Phil the Most Chill and DJ Format with Foremost. This is a full-length project. Oh, 10 tracks full-length project, but it is considered not an EP. It's a full-length project. Phil the Most Chill, if you don't know, one of my favorite rappers, out of Philly, originally from my state of Connecticut, where I live now. I don't know, man, I just really love what he does. He's been doing it since the 80s, and he's still around putting out quality work today. He hasn't put out anything bad, in my opinion. If you haven't heard of him, check him out. I did get one of his releases recently, which I posted up on my Facebook page. I do have Facebook now, so if you guys want to add me on there or whatever, I'll leave a link in the description. Yeah, Phil the Most Chill, I don't know, there's nothing really I could say about him other than definitely check him out. One of my favorite rappers. DJ Format's a really great DJ too. He put out a few releases, I believe, this year, one or two. I'm not sure if this was this year or last year, but he's always putting out good work as well, so definitely check him out as well. That was called Foremost. I know it's on CD and on vinyl as well. So next up, we got Tanya Morgan with Rubber Souls. I know this was on a few lists I've seen this year. I believe Chris had it on his list, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. I know I've seen it on somebody's list a couple times. Yeah, man, Rubber Souls. I really enjoyed this album. I didn't really know it was coming out up until I seen it for sale, and just grabbed it, and it was great, you know. It was definitely not disappointing. What I expected from Tanya Morgan, I get. They haven't really disappointed me in the past. I think they might have had one project which I didn't really love, but this one was definitely on point, and it's on vinyl as well, so you can get that. I'm sorry if I'm not talking about these too much. I'm not really going to go into detail about them. If you want, I guess you could request a review. I don't really do reviews, but if you want, just tell me what album you want me to talk about, and I'll do a separate kind of review or like a spotlight on it. Next up, we got Clear Soul Forces with Gold PP7s. Another great album, kind of like in the same vein as, not in the same vein, but same thing happened at Tanya Morgan. I wasn't really sure it was coming out, you know, until I seen it for sale, grabbed it. I think I got it about the same time, and really enjoyed that one. A lot of references to video games and nerd culture references. I don't know, just really dope album right there. Next up after that is Billy Woods' Blockhead, Door Candy. Let's say about that. Billy Woods never really disappoints me either. He had a great album last year, History Will Absolve Me, and then he had this project with Blockhead, which was Blockhead. You guys should know if you watch my channel. dope producer, really well known for his work with A$AP Rock. This album was, A$AP Rock was actually on this album as well, featured on this album, so definitely one to check out there in my opinion. Next up we got one that probably everyone knows, Run the Jewels. I think that was a self-titled album, Run the Jewels. Yeah, LP, Killer Mike. You know, LP's production is always on point in my opinion. There was one album I didn't really care as much for he had, which was his second, the one before his previous solo work, the one before that one I didn't really care for, when it came out in 2011 or something. So Run the Jewels, I know everyone knows that, you guys have heard it, if you haven't, definitely go check it out. Next up, Demigods, Killmatic. Definitely have to talk about Demigods, Apathy, self-titled, Motive. I'm not going to name everybody, you guys know who's in the Demigods. One of my favorite hip-hop groups, so glad that they came back and finally made an album. It was definitely about time. I really wish they would go on tour, even though Apathy is from my state as well as from Connecticut. But unfortunately he doesn't do too many shows in Connecticut, so I really wish he would do more. Yeah man, I don't know, I would love to see a Killmatic show. A Demigod show. I believe they went on tour for that album. I don't know if they did or not, because I don't think they came around here, so I'm really not sure. But yeah, I mean, I really loved the album. There's no really, I can't really say, I didn't know what to expect, so I can't say I was disappointed, because I wasn't really disappointed by it. I know Alex said he didn't really care for that Rocky sample from the Demigods Back track there. I really love that track. I think it fit perfectly. They all came correct. Self-titled, loved that line that he had there. So after that we got R.A. the Rugged Man, Legends Never Die. Another quality release from R.A. I know we don't get too many of them. They're few and far between, but when we do get them, they're always great. And I think I was talking to Jason Jason versus Bosco about this, and excuse me, he said that he was I think it was him, he said he was a bit disappointed by it because it was supposed to be a I guess it was supposed to be a double album, from he was telling me, from what he read a while back, and it just came out being a single disc album, which I didn't mind. I didn't even know it was supposed to be a double album, but I guess I could see how you'd be disappointed by that. If you were hoping to get one thing, you got something else. But still really dope album. I really love the Definition of a Rap Flow is definitely a banger, as well as all the other tracks, but Daddy's Halo, definitely a great emotional track right there. So R.A., I'm sure all you guys have heard that one. And then to follow that up, we got Lville, the Grammy Awards. Another really banger right there. One of my favorite rappers. You know, non-fiction. What do I say about Lville? It hasn't been said already, other than he's just amazing, and he put out another great album. He's one of those guys that never really disappoints me either, so I've never really heard anything that I've disliked from him. There's definitely stuff that I've kind of, you know, liked more than other stuff, but there's never really been something that I just disliked. And yeah man, I don't know, he had a bunch of different producers, including DJ Premier on that. I'm sure you guys all know. So a lot of features, great album, definitely check it out. Next up we got Sparrow the Movement with Physics. This is one that I don't think too many people have heard about, and if you have, that's great, but if you haven't, definitely check them out. They're on the 626 label, kind of same deal as Constant Deviants there. Kind of run with them, and they kind of that same circle, I guess. This is an album of material that was recorded in the 90s. I want to say 95, 96, somewhere around there. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't. I just recently picked it up, so there are physical copies. I know they're limited to something. They also put out a LP vinyl release, which was really limited, but a bit too pricey for me, so couldn't grab that. But yeah, really great stuff. You know, it's 90s hip hop, and from Baltimore. I do believe they're from Baltimore. I always forget if he's from Baltimore or from New York, but I want to say Sparrow the Movement are from Baltimore. After that we got Ugly Heroes. mellow music group release. My favorite mellow music group release of the year. Apollo Brown Project. Ugly Heroes self-titled, self-titled album. All I'm gonna say is, if you haven't heard that, go check it out. Great Detroit project right there. After that, we got Lewis Parker, an MC from England, with the release is called The Puzzle Episode 2 of The Glass Ceiling. Now, The Puzzle Episode 1 came out in 2011, and that one was a dope project as well. Check that out too if you haven't heard it. But this one I think I liked a little bit better. Lewis Parker, again, always comes correct on the mic. He's he's a beat maker as well. I'm not a producer as well as a rapper. And I'm just gonna say I'm not a big fan of UK MCs usually, just because the accent kind of throws me off. Just because, I don't know, I just don't care for it. But this one, I don't know. It's just something about it. If you can rap, you can rap. And this guy can rap. The accent doesn't affect me for some reason. I don't think he even really has an accent. I can't hear it when I listen to it. It just sounds, it doesn't sound like he has an accent. And I kind of think this one went under the radar a little bit. It was a double album, so there's a lot of material on there. But definitely check that one out if you haven't heard it yet. Lewis Parker, The Puzzle Episode 2. Next up, we got another release from 626 Records. It is the Annex Click with the blue tape. I know I showed this a while ago. This was also stuff that was recorded in the 90s and just released recently. Yeah, just, great 90s style hardcore hip hop. I wouldn't even really say too hardcore, 'cause it's not really that hardcore hip hop, but it's just good straight hip hop. Go check it out. Annex Click, the blue tape. Unfortunately, it only came out on vinyl, so I don't know how available it still is. I think it's all sold out on their website. But if you can find it online, definitely go listen to it. I believe you could maybe find a stream on the 626 website. And then after that, we got a few EPs from a couple of the indie labels there. First up, we got some from Chopped Herring, the North Bronx Alliance with North Bronx shit, stuff released from recorded from 96 to 98. He just put out. Definitely check that out. I'm gonna go through these kind of quick. So, Killer Kids, same deal, 96 to 98 material. Phenomenon EP. Definitely check that out as well. They released some nice, that I would call more hardcore hip hop. They're just hard body style. If you're into that, check it out. Same deal with the next one right here, Bounty Hunters, Who the Fuck's in Charge EP. I believe there were some unreleased tracks that came out. Decided to throw it on that EP. Really dope material. One of my favorites. And the last one, I believe, for that is Finsta Bundy. The demos, 93 to 94. So just some demos he put out from back in the day that I don't think were released up until now. Finsta Bundy, always one of my favorites. I know I've talked about him before. And just give it a listen if you haven't heard it yet. After that, we got a group called Trauma Center. Rhymes Overflow in Part 1 and 2. There's two separate EPs called Rhymes Overflow in Part 1 and Part 2. This one came out on Dope Folks a while back. Both of the EPs came out this year. Really nice classic material from Trauma Center, which I've never heard of the group up until it came out this year. So really a big thank you to Dope Folks for putting me onto that. So back into the more kind of underground hip hop stuff, we got Czarface. I believe Czarface was self-titled as well. Inspect the Deck, 7L, and Esoteric. I know a lot of people are talking about it in the beginning of, or when it came out. I'm not sure if it came out in the beginning of the year or when. I remember it came out earlier in the year, but I didn't hear it on as many people's lists as I would have liked. I really enjoyed the album. I still go back to it, still rock it. So yeah, you guys know what it is. That the album came out. Everybody was talking about it. So next up, we got a recent release. Actually, next couple. Black Milk, No Poison, No Paradise. I know there was a lot of mixed reviews on this one. I really enjoyed it. I've been a fan of Black Milk for a while. Always loved his production. He's not, the best rapper in the world, obviously, but I still really enjoyed it. You don't have to be the best rapper to put out a great album. That's just my opinion right there. I still enjoy it. I think he's really dope on the mic, and nice work on there. I really enjoyed the kind of the jazzier party album that he threw in there with Robert Glasper, I believe. After that, we got Godfathers, the Godfathers album, Necro and Cool G Rap. Cool G Rap being one of my favorite MCs of all time, once again. I think I've mentioned that before. And Necro being one of my favorite producers. I'm not a huge fan of Necro on the mic. I guess I kind of feel the opposite of how Alex feels about this album. If you watched his top albums of the year, I know he was talking about this, and his was at #1. Mine would be, you know, I didn't put these in order, but mine's definitely on the list. It'd definitely be closer to the top of the list as well. Cool G Rap has always been one of my favorite MCs, and I've always wanted to hear him over Necro production. I know they've been talking about this project for years. Finally they, you know, came together, and I think they really do sound like each other. You know, it's really obvious when you listen to it. Necro is really influenced by Cool G Rap, just the way he raps and his, I don't know, I see it, you know. I'm sure everyone's heard that by now, so great album. If you haven't for some reason, definitely check it out. Next up we got Omniscience with Sharp Objects EP. This was produced by Debonair P, a producer from Australia. I think I've talked about Omniscience before on my channel. If I haven't, he's a really great rapper. I'm not sure where he's from. If he's from New York, I'm really not sure. I don't want to say because I'm not really sure where he's from. He put out a couple projects this year. One on Dope Folks, and then he put out this Sharp Objects EP with Debonair P. Definitely check it out. You know, Debonair P makes dope beats. Debonair P himself put out a couple projects as well, instrumental projects and a bunch of remixes. He's got a deal on his website actually where you can get 5 CDs, I believe, for I think it's $25 or $35. You get a whole package deal of a lot of the work that he put out. So definitely check that one out. Omniscience, Sharp Objects EP. I believe that those physicals are all sold out as well, but I could be wrong about that. You could probably still find it on Discogs or something. And coming up on the last couple here, we got Factor, Woke Up. I'm sorry if I'm always looking down, but I got them all written down and my memory is horrible. So Factor, Woke Up Alone. This project I remember talking about earlier in the year when I picked it up. Haven't really heard too many other people talking about it. I guess I didn't enjoy it as much as I did. Factor always being one of my favorite producers from Canada. And this had a lot of features on it. Had people like Henry Osborne was on it, Chesky, Fake 4 Records, basically a bunch of those people, as that's who he is signed to currently, I believe, as well as doing his own kind of releases, but he's also signed to Fake 4, so yeah, Factor, once again, one of those guys that never disappoints me when he puts something out. Beats are always on point. They're not really not kind of that hard body, you know, boom bap kind of style hip hop always, but they are really dope. And definitely check that project out if you haven't heard it. Really dope concept to it too. It was called Factor, Woke Up Alone. Excuse me, check it out. And before, not the last one yet, we got Constant Deviants with It's Okay EP. Another Constant Deviants project. I know I've said it before, one of my favorite hip hop groups. I'm going to see them actually on Saturday, so tomorrow, today being Friday, in New York City. Tickets were really cheap, I think like $10 or $11 or something to get a ticket, but they always put on a great show. I've seen them before once. Really dope show. This EP, just more Constant Deviants material, man. If you haven't heard it, I know it's still available, so you can go stream it, you know, go cop it. It's out there, never let me down, so go check it out. And finally here, we got a group that I haven't heard too many people talk about either, called Soundsci. The album is called Soundsational. They've been around for a little while. They put out a project, I believe last year or 2 years ago. I'm not sure when, I think it was last year, called Formula 99, which was dope as hell too. And then they put out this project this year called Soundsational. Really short project, I believe just 10 or 11 tracks, something like that. But really dope. I think there's I want to say 5 or 6 guys in the group. Kind of a big group, but they all, you know, play their part. They all fit really well together. So they all play their parts really well, I guess, if that's a good way to say it. And I don't know, I just haven't heard too many people talking about them. They put out an EP this year as well called the Ultimate EP, and that was definitely a highlight for me as well. But I think I like the album Soundsational a bit more, and that is available on CD and on LP as well, so you can cop it excuse me, or digitally. So that's it, guys. Those are all my releases that I recommend to check out. Some of my favorite releases this year. Definitely leave yours in the comments. And I know I'm a bit late on this. It's already almost into mid-January, but who cares, you know, either way. I just wanted to kind of throw them out there. I know I didn't put them in order, so I'm sorry if you guys are anal about that. You need them in order, but I really don't care. Not that big of a deal to me. I don't have one that I like so much better than the others. So all really dope stuff. Definitely check out, you know, anything I said here. And if you do want like a individual kind of spotlight, little review thing on any of the albums I named, let me know and I'll do it, because I really don't mind doing stuff like that. I just not a big fan of doing reviews just for my own personal reasons. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will have another video coming soon with my anticipation video. I'll probably do something like that probably sometime this weekend, and then an update I will have coming closer to the end of the month. So thank you all for watching. I'll leave my Facebook link in the description like I said, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.